Hey folks, Dude here, and well, it's coming up on the anniversary. Possibly one of my very least favorite days of the calendar year is September 11th. Now, if you guys are looking at the way things work in the world, the ISIS guys, the Sharia hunters, those people that are trying to institute the caliphate, and or trying to remove the caliphate. I forget which one it is. I don't know, but those extreme dirtbags that insist that the most radical form of Islam is exactly the way to go, and democracy, freedom, and all the rest of that stuff can just go to hell. Those guys aren't just going to quit. Okay, so potentially, there could be operations ongoing all around the planet at any point in time. You can't really go, okay, these guys are located in, land of so-and-so, let's just go put in a missile strike, basically wipe them out, problem solved. The problem is, it is an order of subjugation. You basically institute your guys, they brainwash their guys then basically go on around and try to institute that thinking and that mindset to others and try to make it so that it takes hold in other countries. It's insidious. But of that, we are now looking at the fact that we're coming up on an anniversary. And I would behoove you to, at the very least, have at the very, very, very least, you want to have an absolute minimum of 5 days worth of food and water at its worst case. And I do mean like power goes out, you got stuff to eat that doesn't need to go on the stove or doesn't need to have any of this other happy horse stuff. And, or you lay in supplies as such that you are ready for the long haul, just in case. Now, I know you're going to be playing catch up, and you're going to be rushing for the stores to try to get stuff, and if the shelves are cleared out because something really bad has happened, you're boned, okay? You are not going to play catch up with a virtual inventory grocery store. It's not like back in the days when we were kids, when the back of the place was full of stuff that they could restock the shelves with. The stuff that you see in a grocery store is the stock. So again, I would behoove you. A case of water is like $4. I would insist, at the very least, to have 2 cases of water, just in case. Now the thing about it is, this is drinking water. You can use this at your leisure to drink. Trying to keep stuff cold and whatnot is not going to be easy. I would state most emphatically, if stuff really, really goes wrong, you wish to eat the stuff from your freezer first. The stuff that's in your refrigerator first. The stuff that's in your freezer, you do not mess with. For the very simple reason of a well-insulated refrigerator, read like modern stuff, is very, very efficient. As a matter of fact, the refrigerator that we transported from our old house to our new house and stuck in the basement was rated for about $100, $70, $80, $90, whatever it was, of power usage per year. Do the math. That means that thing is working super efficiently. So if you yank the plug, it's going to stay cold in the freezer section for a minimum, with stuff being frozen, for at least 3 to 4 days. And I do mean frozen solid like a brick. The more you open and close the doors, the more you're letting the cold out. So if you're getting the stuff from the fridge first, you are using that stuff, which is a lower temperature, has a much lower profile for going from safe level to too warm to not being edible any longer. That is the stuff you want to use up first. Secondly, the stuff that's in your freezer, anything that you can utilize for long store items, I would jerk it, I would smoke it, I would eat it up whenever possible as one meal. If you basically have like a big honking piece of meat, bam, that's your meal. You basically open and close the door a minimum amount of times to get that stuff out of there, and you use it as fast as possible. Any of your canned goods, any of your other long store items, you do not eat. Reason being is that stuff is not going to go bad because it's still in the can. Cans don't care if it's hot or cold. It's in the can. As long as it's stored in a can, the can's intact without any dents, you're fine. If you got a dented can, what happens then is all those little micro cracks in the inside give something for the little food guys to start attacking. So if you have a high acid food, it'll attack the steel. Eventually it wears a hole. Eventually it starts rusting out. Can goes kablooey. Not safe to eat. Don't do that. Don't buy dented cans. That's another thing. But that's going into another subject. Eat the stuff from your cold stores first. Then go to your civilian canned goods. Then go to your civilian dry goods. Then go to your civilian well, whatever other stuff that you have, your camp food and what have you, save your MREs for the very, 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 very last thing you eat, simply because MREs can store a long-ass time, and it's going to be your best stuff in case things really, really, really go wrong. They're easy to grab up and out to the next place. That's what you wish to utilize. Now, the camping stuff is, it's good to have. It's not the cheapest thing, and the meal value for the dollar value, it's not that great. I mean, case in point, the case in point for the price of like one of those Mountain House, meals where you like a two-person meal, I eat those by myself. Okay, that is not a two-person meal unless you like starvation. Those two-person meals from Mountain House are 2 people's worth in a pipe dream. Maybe 2 children, maybe, but it's not easy to divide a bag of food. Basically, it's like, okay, well, you eat half, I'll eat the other half. It doesn't really work. The MRE, for all intents and purposes, is every bit of that food value plus more, plus all the accessory stuff, for roughly about the same dollar of $6 or $7 per. I tend to side with the MREs for the most long store items for that simple purpose. The Mountain House stuff is good. Only problem is you need to have hot water to make it work. You got to boil the water. If you don't have power, you're screwed. If you have a gas stove that still works, it's always going to work. Gas will never, ever turn off unless they physically turn you off, because what happens is, if gas turns off and then turns back on, all those pilot lights let all the gas in the houses. Every single house now becomes a potential bomb for the first person going in, and flicking a switch or creating a spark. The power will never go on and off with the gas going on and off, because you just built a bomb. So it's just some stuff to think about. But I would advise you, most empathetically, and I'm not trying to put scare tactics on anybody. I'm saying, as a good frugal squirrel, as a good prepper, right, waiting for, TOTWAKI, SHTF, zombie incursion, stupidity on September 11th, have at least 5 days worth of food. That's all I got to say about that. 5 days. Couple cases of water, just in case. You could go out to the big box store right now, or you can go to your grocery store, and for about 50 or 60 bucks, you could set yourself up great. Do this. Do this. Do this. At the very least, have yourself stuff that you like to eat. Cans of chili don't need to be heated. Cans of soup don't need to be heated. Cans of any kind of, Italian varieties, like, your raviolis, your Ringo whatevers, your beanie weenies, all the rest of that good stuff, they don't need to be heated. Think along the lines of like camp foods and those items that you could probably find in your grocery store that people aren't jumping on right now. That's the other thing too. People tend to think short term. They don't think long haul. Think long haul. And, if nothing else, you have all this stuff that you just gathered up. You're going to use it up anyway. It simply just has to be used in the course of a few years versus you're going, oh crap, I don't have this. It is a lot better to have stuff that you don't absolutely need but have versus stuff that you absolutely need but don't have. So have the stuff you don't need versus needing the stuff you don't have. It's not good. So you definitely want to make sure that you have those items in place at time of incident to carry you over for the times, well, things get better. I'm going to break up on this one. 5 days worth of food. Do it. See you guys. Oh, yeah. Eat good, keep it in the as always, always. You love it. See you guys.